Right, bud, nothing is terribly damaged inside the gearbox. You've got a little bit of wearing to your piston, a little bit of wearing to your gears, but nothing is broken. Your barrel is rusted. If that's white rain rust. And the BBs are jammed in the barrel. You can see that I can't see down there. In fact, if I put this up against the light, you will see that there is BBs jammed in it. So first things first, don't use drum mags. It's absolutely not worth it. It's not worth it. Secondly, what brand of ammo are you using? And thirdly, when was the last time you cleaned your barrel? Hello mate, how you doing? I've just sent you a couple of videos. I've got some questions if you've got a moment.
Go for it.
Cool. There's nothing broken inside the gearbox at all. When I tested it, it went like it made a strippy sound. Now, when was the last time you cleaned your barrel?
Place your bets now! Come on, quick, bet! Betting ends!
I haven't, actually.
Yeah, I know. What brand and weight and type of ammo are you using?
Spitfire 03, still not great, but...
Spitfires, yeah, they're shit. Okay. You had BBs all jammed down your barrel. They have scuffed up your barrel. It's torn the hot rubber. What's happened is, especially when you're running a drum mag, you keep your finger on the trigger for longer. Now, I hear this all the time. If I do a support gun for somebody, which this is the reason I don't do support guns, I only do the gearbox, what happens is, people think that it's a support gun, I can lay down 50 rounds in one burst and it won't be a problem. It's the same with people with drum mags. I should be able to do this. But if you give them an MP5, they'd never do that because it's an MP5, you'd never do that. But all of the internal components are exactly the same. And it's not normally, like in this case, the gearbox components that fail. What actually caused the failure is if it's bad BBs, a dirty barrel, a drum mag, or all of the above and excessively long trigger pulls. People have expensive guns, they get charged money to put expensive parts in, and then they use the cheapest quality BBs. It's like going to a £90 bottle of champagne and just putting some lemonade in the champagne, it's like, why have you done this? You've ruined it. And the cheap ammo thing is definitely going to be a cause towards that. So, the dude thought this was bad AIDS levels are fucked, and it's not. But he's still got a £400 budget to do stuff to it, because he thought it was fucked. So I'm going to change out a couple of little bits. How's that coming along? Pretty good, right? I had to tap out about there. My fucking arm, you saw how it swelled up when I got infected. Same thing across here. So I had to go, yeah, okay, let's stop. So they've redone some red on here instead, and they'll put some more black into it once that is all settled, and then finish up these dots. Yeah, started swelling up so much you couldn't fucking see. So this was meant to be a quick, easy job. It is not a quick, easy job. Dude thought the gun was fucked. The gun is not fucked. He used very cheap ammo, Spitfires. His barrel was filthy. There was BBs blocked in his barrel, blocked in his hot rubber. He hadn't cleaned it out, never cleaned his inner barrel. But I seem to recall that this was being an absolute arsehole to Shim. An absolute arsehole. And I'm getting the exact same thing now. This should be a 45-minute job all day long. It's not. This is taking me now over 2 hours, because what happens if your gearbox casing is off spec? You can see how they would normally put the wires. This one goes over here like that, and then the plastic cover goes over it. But the plastic cover doesn't allow for a motor pinion to sit inside it. And I started seeing scratches on the inside of here. And that's not good. You definitely don't want scratches right here. So I started looking at how I could change that. And obviously the simple solution is what I always do. Put the wires here. So I've gone to cut a channel in the back of the gearbox and realised actually, as you can see, I've tapered the edges of the pinion. And that would sit in here. Now you can see how I've now got 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops. A lot of you are going to hate this. And then widened that out very slightly. The whole world wants you to have your motor sat as snug as it can possibly be in there. Well, the way this wants to sit, even with a G&G motor, the way it wants to sit is so low that the edges of the gear, the pinion, can scratch inside here. And even the original was carving the fuck out of the inside of there. So I've had to make that slightly wider because this has to go in at an angle and scoop itself in. It does not go straight in. It has to go in at an angle and there has to be a little bit of playroom. Now this is one of the cases where I'm going to use an EZO bearing because although they are, like many things, they're not required for 99% of builds, but sometimes it's better to wear on the side of caution. If I throw a random, this is going to be his bevel gear, that's going to sit in here like this, and until I started scooping the material out, the outside rim of the gear was touching the inside of the gearbox. Was it doing that with the G&G gear? We'll never know. But if you look at where this naturally wants to bite, which is here, you can see that that fucking motor pinion is never going to fit in that slot. Not never. Then when I go to this side, again it'd be around here, it can get past that wire. So now I've cut the channel so these wires can sit nicely in there. They're not going to get damaged. That should hopefully just spin nicely and do its thing. And maybe now everything won't get red hot. Now, I would never, ever have found that shimming it the normal way I would shim. But I also wouldn't have found out that problem with the normal way that you're meant to shim according to the internet, which is do this gear first and go in there. I had to have this gear upside down and check with a different pinion and a different tower to see what fitted the best. So stop asking the correct procedure for shimming, because there isn't a correct procedure for shimming. You just have to keep working at it because every fucking gun is different. This one's taken me a fucking age to get sorted. But hopefully now I've got a tiny amount of play, which is fine. And hopefully now that will sit inside at a decent angle and engage correctly with the bevel gear. I hope. Here come the fucking shimming policeman. You didn't do it my way, that means it's the fucking shit way. Yeah, whatever. Goes, are you going to help the police? You going to help? Ooh. You started in our woo, didn't you? You're so proud of yourself, and so you should be. You always help the police. Sometimes it can just be an absolute dick to get anything to shim. And also take a look at how many times I've taken this pistol grip on and off. 15, 20? And the wires and the warhead stayed intact. Didn't they, Gozer? Yeah, they did, yeah, I saw it. She talks to me. I'm now making a custom fucking cunt. It's so hot. I'm now making a custom motor. It is fucking hot. Really fucking hot. It is Omid Jalili levels of fucking hot.
If I get a bit hot, that's when I go crazy. I was watching a play. There's no air conditioning, and my friends in the play, they said, we knew you were about to go, because after 3 minutes I was going, at the most quiet point in the play, I just went, It's so freaking hot! Got pissed off that shit anyway, I'm going! Yeah!
Right, all I've got to do now, I'm going to have to remove his wires here and just put the Dean's connector on, I think. I can cover these as well though, so I'll see which way I want to do it. I think that basically covers it. Fuck it, I hate soldering. Right then, what did we learn? Well, I'd say, personally, we learned why you don't use cheap ammo. Spitfire is great for rentals. I think it is an absolute waste making shit ammo or cheap ammo in heavyweights because no one in their right mind would try and use it. Apart from this guy. If you use cheap ammo, you are highly likely to run into problems. Problems that cost you lots of money. That is something everyone can take away. Don't use 2s. 2.5 minimum. Chrono on the weight ammo that you're going to be using on the day. If the site says no, don't play there because they're clearly too fucking dumb to own an airsoft site. And finally, there is no correct method for shimming. There is no correct method for shimming. It doesn't exist. In my case, I had to start with the spur, then put the bevel in, but put the bevel into the other half of the gearbox casing and modify the gearbox casing. And even then, I had to use a PTS grip. That was the only way this was going to work. Doesn't sound too bad now. Just bear all that in mind. There is no correct method of shimming. There is no one way of doing it, and even I, with my mighty, mighty bollocks and big, wide purple bell end, sometimes has to do things differently. That's how you get anywhere in life, that's how you achieve. Right, fuck off. Oh, I've now got these in stock on my website if you fancy them. I can ship to other countries, providing you understand that I will only ship it with some kind of tracked method, and you will have to email me in order to buy them, because the shipping rates go up and down like a whore's arse, so I really can't be asked to keep changing my website every fucking 30 seconds, so email me and we'll do it manually. Right, now you can fuck off.